All right, everyone, another thread from Carlos Osuita, referring to Susan Rice, who says about Richard Grenell, the problem is that Rick Grenell is one of the most massively dishonest people I've ever encountered. I'm not using this language lightly. He's a hack and a shill, and that's all he's ever been. Carlos Osuita replies, Susan Rice's new stand-up comedy act needs a little work. Rice worked for the most lawless president in American history. During Obama's tenure, the intelligence community was used to try and prevent Donald Trump from being elected. Remember the Steele dossier? I do. Rice says that Richard Grenell is going to use the intelligence community to re-elect Trump. How? It's not possible. The intelligence community is rotten with Strzok and Pages. There's literally nothing Grenell could do between now and November to get Trump re-elected. We saw the House of Representatives impeach Trump for non-crimes. The House can impeach again any time it wants. The New York Times just published the lie that the Russians were working on getting Trump reelected. Then it was revealed that the intelligence community briefers had no evidence that this is true. Grenell can't do anything to help reelect Trump. Rice tailored her comments to morons, people who don't know how anything works. When the House voted to impeach, a plurality of leftists thought that Trump was automatically removed from office. All my brother's friends are leftists. None of them knew that if Trump were removed from office, this guy would automatically become president. The religious terminator, Mike Pence. Rice is good at scaring middle-aged fake gangstas, but her attempts at humor fall flat. I'm really tired of failure and stupidity, especially in defense of the worst president we've ever had. The real asterisk president is Mr. Flymouth, Barack Obama. For 8 years, I rolled my eyes. Now I laugh. Imagine wasting all that time working for a guy whose mouth draws flies and who thinks Austrian is a language. I don't have any contacts in the intelligence community, but I've studied these people. A massive percentage are imbeciles. In 1991, I applied for a job at the CIA, but I got freaked out by my fellow applicants. After I made it through the initial interview, I withdrew from the process. The vibe was too creepy. I got a sense of melodrama that I didn't expect. They seemed way too full of themselves. When I was a child, one of our neighbors was a friendly old British man who would babysit me occasionally. He was missing his left eye, and he had a series of pockmarks that ran down the side of his face. But he was funny and warm, so his appearance didn't bother me. After he died, I learned that he was in the Royal Flying Corps during World War I. That's pronounced corps, not corpse, Madam Ambassador. My neighbor was the gunner of an Fe-2. The Germans had synchronization gear that allowed them to fire machine guns through the spinning propeller. The Fe-2 gunners had to fight like this, link in the description. My neighbor was attacked by a German fighter head-on. He took 18 bullets from the top of his head down the side of his body, all the way to his feet. The pilot was mortally wounded, but he managed to land the plane to save the gunner. The gunner, my future neighbor, spent 2 years in the hospital. Can you imagine the nightmares he had? But you'd never know. He was a nice, low-key man who loved children. Too many American members of the intelligence community are embarrassing. They think of themselves as major. And then the trailer to Ghost in the Shell is on, link in the description. When I saw that trailer, I couldn't believe it was a real movie. But it was, and it flopped, just like the Obama administration. Anyone who worked for Obama should hang their heads in shame. You worked for a toxic clown who always had flies in his mouth. Excellent job. Just stellar. The end.